So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iOS 27 versus One UI 8.5 speed test. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up in 3, 2, 1. Phones in this video are iPhone 17, Galaxy S26 representing the One UI 8.5, and I am aware this is a beta 1, developer beta 1. The purpose of this video is to give you kind of ideas of what the performance is going to be like before you decide if you want to download this or the upcoming public beta. The changes in speed aren't going to be substantial between now and like the public beta. They're going to get a little bit more enhanced as time goes on later in the summer. You've seen that the Galaxy did boot up first over the iPhone 17 on beta 1. Okay, so here on the iOS 27, let's see how the animation looks flying into the home screens. I'm going to come over to a page that has more applications like this one, and we'll go ahead and fly in, and you'll see not bad. I don't really see any stutters with that. Sometimes that will chop a little if you're going too fast when you first turn your phone on, but other than that, seems to be very smooth. Even if I'm like moving quick, pick it up, swipe in, it's very good. Now over here for the Galaxy S26, you'll see also flies in very nicely, and we'll go over here to the same page and kind of do that again. And you can see also giving us a smooth take. I feel like the Samsung is a little snappier to get to the actual apps. I do feel like Apple is kind of like giving it a little bit more of a visually enhanced look. You'll just see it kind of flies in a little bit more. Like it just, that animation is just a little bit slower to kind of give you that like nice look to the launch. But over here, it's still quick, but it's a little bit quicker. Like we're already in there on the Galaxy. So pretty close, but I would say Galaxy a little bit faster there. All right, guys, so let's look at the general performance across beta 1 here for the iPhone 17. If I swipe through very quickly, you'll see no stutters, even coming over to the app library. So very nice. Now, if I click over here, little bit of a chop there when I first clicked that. This is, again, the first click since boot up. So sometimes, you know, things do have to initially load up. And you'll see if I go through the applications, very smooth. One of the areas they improved, though, was over here when you add controls and performance. And also just kind of like these little sub-menus and stuff throughout the operating system. They're just a little snappier now when you click through things. So that's pretty fast there. Also, if I just go like this and swipe through, very quick. So it looks pretty stable for a daily using phone right here on the iPhone 17 with beta 1. We'll take a look over here at One UI 8.5, and you'll see a little bit of a different app area. You're going to go in the app drawer and you'll go up and down like this with your alphabetical list right there. Also very snappy to go ahead and get into things. I will say over there, you see when we went over into the Google page, it kind of lagged. Well, I wouldn't say lag, but it just chopped a bit to get over there for that first load as it refreshing all of these options right here. So definitely both are very quick, and they both can have that little chop occasionally if you're going kind of quick or it's doing a first load on stuff. Okay, guys, so everything is closed out for both phones. We're going to go ahead and do a quick app launch on both of these, just kind of see what kind of performance we get. You'll see that on the Galaxy, we are getting very quick overall app launches. We also can see over here, this is what I'm talking about with the iOS 27, the animations in these submenus are pretty darn quick. We'll go over here to calculator. Animation still faster on the Samsung. Loads up first there on the right, and weather launches there on the left. And over here, we do have a win on ChatGPT. We'll go into Gemini, once again, faster on the right. We'll go into Groupon, and you'll see on Groupon here that we do have a load first there for the iPhone. We were loading up this area though, so that could be why. We'll swipe about it there. We're going to go into Instagram, and then we'll go over here to my page, kind of scroll down, hit this Galaxy post right here, and you'll see pretty good. But what you got to notate here when watching this video is how a beta version is just kind of rocking away with a regular official version of the Samsung over here on the right. While the Samsung is winning this test, that could also be down to its newer chipset, more RAM. So it could be also animations. Those are actually different Subway Surfers, but who cares? You can see that it launched first there over on the right. This is not, we're not trying to do the exact same everything here. We're just trying to see just general performance. So who cares about that one? Let's go into Dead Trigger 2, and we'll hit continue here. And we got to download this. So yeah, even with the download, that thing was quick. So that's in there. We might not even launch over here on the iPhone. So some applications will drag their feet, and beta might give you an issue in certain areas. But even with a download, that was faster than the iPhone 17. We'll go into Free Fire, and you'll see both of them launching pretty good. But you can see that the iPhone 17 or basically on beta, these phones are fast still. So this is one of those few years where like the beta is not messing up your phone badly. Very good stuff, I would say. And we're not going to wait on the download for that one. I'm actually going to skip Destiny because I'm not really trying to do a technical speed test here. What I'm trying to mostly do is just see animation time, trying to see which one, kind of like how they perform in real world. And we'll go over here. And we'll go over here to Speed Test Net. And you can see, based on all these app launches here, the iPhone was doing the typical thing Apple usually does, which is have a little bit of a slower, visually pleasing animation, whereas Samsung was doing the typical thing it does, which is have a pretty snappy, quick animation. So this basically seems to be performing just like iOS 26. But with a little bit, I would say, faster transitions when you're in different submenus and stuff. So it is going to be a performance improvement in a lot of areas, but daily right now, I wouldn't be too concerned if you wanted to try out the beta. And let's just pop through these applications to see if we get any stutter, and absolutely not. We're going to skip Destiny as we did in the initial launch phase. We'll go over here to Subway, News, X, Instagram. We'll go to Groupon. We'll swipe out there. That was me, not the phone itself. And you could see no stutters. And this is nice because beta sometimes give you like stutters and the phone gets really hot and all these little issues. Not here. This phone isn't even hot right now, so I like that. Let's go ahead and run it here now on the Galaxy. We'll do the same stuff here. And we'll go over there. Free Fire was taking a bit, so we just kind of let that run. We'll go over here to Subway Surfers and we'll swipe out of there. And if you notice, even the animations, they looked a little better to me on the iPhone going backwards through the applications, but we are seeing very, very fast performance there on the Samsung as well. So I just feel like I'm not even using a beta is what I'm seeing so far. And so the final Geekbench 6 results are in 3657, which beats the Galaxy S26 even on the Galaxy S26's official version. We'll go over to single cores, and that's pretty much better than even the average 17. So it's actually doing better than that. Also, we do have 9212 over here versus 9231. So a little bit worse on that multi-core with the Galaxy stomping on it there. But in reality, single core is where you actually feel most of the performance. So the 17 actually a little bit better there than the Galaxy S26. We're going to go over here and do a quick Wildlife Extreme to see what kind of gaming performance graphics we're going to get on the daily with this phone. We'll start that there, and then we'll go ahead and start this here. And I'll be back when they're in with their final results. And so here are our final results on Wildlife Extreme. You can see the Galaxy with a substantial victory. This wouldn't have been really different whether this was on 27 or not. The Galaxies tend to really outshine iPhone in these Wildlife Extreme tests. But let's go ahead and do a quick speedometer test as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start this test here, and we'll see which one can get a better score when it comes to web browsing here. So we weren't able to finish the test on the iPhone over there. We got a 39.5. I'm going to rerun it here. But this has been crashing on 27, so certain websites, certain apps, this is possible for this to happen due to the beta, and you can see a problem repeatedly occurred. I'm going to go ahead and try this on Google Chrome's browser. And so we were able to get results in Google Chrome browser over here, so that would point to the fact that Safari is in developmental stages here for 27, obviously, and so this is what can occur. So you did see that crashes can occur. So that's just one of the nature and the things that come with the beta. But the Galaxy did win in its browsing test right there. It was using Samsung Internet. Let's go ahead and do a quick camera launch to see how fast they can do that. That's one of the areas where betas will tend to sometimes be a little bit choppy. So we'll see if that is the case here. And let me bring that camera in right there, and we'll go in 3. Actually, I'm gonna put this one right here as well. We're gonna go in 3, 2, go. And iPhone launches that quicker. We'll do that again. 3, 2, go. Yeah, it looks like the iPhone launched that quicker. Still has a better shutter speed, and I still think a slightly better preview than the Samsung. So nothing really a big issue when it comes to the iPhone's camera launching and taking photos. That shouldn't be a big problem here within 27. You also will see the Siri camera is now integrated within 27. So that is pretty awesome to say the least. So we're going to wrap it up here. 27 on the 17 versus the Galaxy S26 on One UI 8.5. You've seen the 27 beta is not only keeping up with One UI 8.5, it wins in certain benchmarks. But I do think they do need to add a few more updates to the speed, because it's still not quite as quick looking as the Samsung. So I'm still gonna have to give the Samsung the victory, mostly in its animation performance, and just kind of like this, the operating system just feels a little snappier still on the Samsung side, even though they're claiming performance improvements here. I want to see if they really boost them up towards the end of the beta series. But if you want to go with public beta, or you want to download this soon, I think it's safe to try. It's pretty darn stable, so I do like that. Let me know your thoughts on these two down below, One UI or 27, which do you prefer? And if you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, enjoying, you might also like this video. Nick here. Be sure to be well. I'll catch you on the next episode. And peace.